and welcome to the Benny Talk once again. We are very happy that you have joined us today, but also because we have a mental health expert that is going to dismantle mental health and academic growth for students. There are so many things that are going on in schools and that's people are not always paying attention to. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Though he is known as Mwalimu, but there's a lot that we need to know about him, and then we are going to dive into the conversation. If it's your very first time to join the Benny Talk, you're very welcome. And if you've always watched us, thank you so much for sparing your time. Mwalimu, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Jina langu ni Mwalimu Martin Amanya. Okay. My name is Martin Amanya. Mwalimu simply means a teacher.
Okay.
And happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me. And thank you, viewers, for continuing to love these conversations because they are very important in our lives. Yeah. Mwalimu Martin Amanya is a teacher of Kiswahili.
Okay.
He's a counselor. He's a mentor and an events host or MC.
Okay.
Yeah. And back to today's topic, mental health in schools or mental well-being of students and other stakeholders in school.
You think the relationship between, the student and the other stakeholders, be it parents, teachers, sponsors, and even other academic people, like does it affect their mental health? Because really, honestly speaking, there's so many things that are going on. And yeah, we're glad that you've joined us.
Thank you. I think like you've said very correctly, it's something that is real, and yet people tend to shrug it off. Students come in school, each one has where they have come from, their life experience they've gone through growing up. The parents are different in their parenting styles.
Sure.
Children come from families of different statuses. They're different age groups. There are different personalities.
Yeah.
There are many things at play that affect the way they learn, that affect the way they relate with one another, that affect the way they relate with the teachers, that affect the way they relate with other staff members or the community around school. Also their parents, because the relationship is broad and continuous. So all these things affect the well-being of learners as far as their personal well-being. Let's talk about mental health, psychosocial well-being or social-emotional well-being, which in a sense you can't dissociate from their performance, their academic performance.
True.
You can't have a person who is performing well academically when they're not mentally stable. It's hard. And what happens in school is like we tend to focus on only one thing.
Yeah.
If a child is performing well academically, but what we later find is that people who are probably acing their careers or those who have good grades in schools, not necessarily all the time, but they're the very kids sometimes who may commit suicide, who may be feeling depressed, who may be feeling stressed, and because it's so competitive to be able to get those grades and everything. And then the parents maybe are not involved. There's no relationship. And probably they don't have, let's say, good relationship with fellow students.
True.
And even the teaching and non-teaching staff. And there's always something going on.
True.
And if you don't wake up and start creating environments that are supportive, that are positive, that are facilitative, that are warm, that are welcoming to support the mental well-being of these kids, and just focus on their academic performance and everything, we're going to lose them. So that's why this conversation
very necessary
is important. So we will begin by looking at the student relations or friendships. So why do we talk about this? Healthy student relationships are very important in the personal well-being and the academic welfare of the learners. Yeah. Because that's the foundation of their joy. That's the foundation of their happiness. That's the foundation of the sense of their belonging. That's the foundation of feeling valued and part of the community.
True.
There are some things we take for granted, but those who remember those school times, like during playtime, in the traditional old schools where we grew up from, I mean, think even now these things happen. One of the kids has a ball or the game is going to start, they say, you line up, and then we shall select who's going to be on this team and the other. And they're selecting because of how good someone is in the way they play. And we would make a line like this. So the guy calls this person, they go this, I call this person. And normally that 1 or 2, 3 person who are last in the line, and maybe at last even everybody doesn't want to take you.
No one wants.
But imagine this is a child who is innocent, who's come to be part of this community, to play and have fun, but then they're being rejected.
Yeah.
Maybe also they have been rejected at home, or they've gone through experiences like maybe they're abandoned by their fathers or parents. So now imagine also this is being added on. Maybe they have that sibling rivalry going on at home, but now here they are. They are being even discriminated against because of something that doesn't define them at school. So that and some other things, like children now grow up in fences. They do not know how to make friends. They are driven out to the school. They are brought back in the car. So they all they know is their family, and they do not know how to initiate friendships and make friends at school. Yet friends are very important. You know the children that you grew up with. You know the friends you made when you were growing up. Some of them are the ones we have kept as genuine friends. Who we made when all we had was a coconut head.
Yeah.
Like people normally joke. But those things are not paid attention to. So when children are not helped in those basic skills, like having good relationships at school, being brother's keeper and sister's keeper, knowing that they need to support each other, like in class, in their academics, and when there are no opportunities for creating platforms for them to bond, to receive each other, to be kind, to love one another without discrimination of statuses and everything, their mental health is going to be affected. And that's why I would say that schools need to be intentional about creating platforms like team intensive activities, maybe sports, maybe certain kind of games.
Bring the students together.
Yes, to bring the students together with different abilities and a sense of inclusivity and belonging, where those who are weaker, the stronger ones support the weaker, where the bigger boys and bigger girls look at the young ones as mentees, not actually to prey on them.
Yeah.
That then they will know that, these are our brothers, these are our sisters. They need safety, they need a sense of trust and a sense of belonging. So our role here is not to take advantage of them, bully them or anything, but to protect them, to give them a shoulder to lean on, to support them. There are other things like creating. The school should be intentional in creating safe spaces where children can be able to sit down. And this could be like student wellness clubs. Students can sit down in a group and have confidentiality, a sense of trust amongst themselves, and talk about the mental health challenges.
That's how they create long-lasting friendships.
Exactly. And yes, without feeling judged, without feeling shamed or anything, talk about the things they go through and they can get support. Now, from one another, peer support, students supporting students. And that's actually the most sustainable thing.
Now I'm looking at the parent-student relationship. Do you think really that matters? And what do we need to know about this? Because it's really important. A lot is going on, like I said. So what do you have to tell us about that?
Now, parents, this is for you. I think we've neglected the role of getting involved in the students' lives because it's a busy world running around looking for dues to be able to clear the students' fees. And we feel like when we do that, we are done. Now, children need to experience a collaborative relationship between you and them for purposes of guidance, for purposes of encouragement, for purposes of creating a strong support system, bridging the gap between home and school for them to be able to thrive academically. Because you definitely know the challenges you went through when you were in school. And you needed probably your parent to get involved in some way. But sometimes we make schools like dumping places. And when children go there and never get to hear from you, or when they come back for the holiday, again, you are not as involved in their lives. I've talked to some. It makes it really, really difficult. They do not know whether actually you care about their education. So, I mean, why wouldn't they slack and get poor grades? But also, I mean, do not care about their academic goals and well-being, as well as their emotional stability while they are pursuing their academics. So parents, we need to get involved. We should be intentional about creating opportunities for us to, they're actually opportunities for bonding.
True.
Some parents don't have a relationship with their children. Now, getting involved in their education, asking them some questions, talking about their school, talking about their teachers, where they need your support,
True.
talking to them about your school life and what it was like, and telling them if they need help, you can give. Those can be some of the basic ways you can enhance this, and it will come a long way in supporting their academic growth and well-being at school. Yeah.
It is though sad how sometimes when the students are back home, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go home again. I'm going home. Like, why should they be? I think they should be excited that they're going back home to see their parents and, their aunties and all that. But there's a problem.
And some of them, in claiming to be so busy, they don't go for maybe some parents' days, or if their children have plays, they are participating in, or any activities at school, the parents don't get to show up. Now, you do not know what you're doing. As much as you think you are out there making money to support this child, what they need actually is you to connect before you bring the money and pay fees. That's almost like the list. Not the list, but it's the easiest thing to do. And you may be struggling with a void in you that you didn't work through, a relationship you didn't experience growing up, but now we can't keep the cycle going on.
True.
What are you going to gain by making all the money and investing in this child's life? And they're not learning because they see you're not interested, and they're going to end up into unhealthy relationships or being delinquent and with violent behavior and going into drugs and other unhealthy behaviors of addiction. And by the time you come back to check with them in university, maybe first year, and they're already gone. It's so hard for you to be able to help them. The work begins now and today. And if you're a parent and you've not been investing in the relationship with your child at the school level, at home, everywhere, please spare some time and do that now.
Very important.
Please.
Very important.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, there's so many relationships that affect the mental health of the student.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about
Teachers.
teacher.
Uh-huh.
That's what is.
Thank
That's
you.
what is a problem. Because
Now.
when I think about my primary school life,
Oh my God.
Teachers. One teacher can
And students?
forget his name.
Uh-huh.
I can never forget
don't-
that. I am not going to
Please don't
mention.
mention, because
But really, no way. I wouldn't like my child to experience what I experienced. So what do you have to tell the teachers specifically, and also the students, because both of them have to cooperate and work together for that mental health to be, because I think even teachers are affected by how students are behaving, and in a certain way they're also being affected. So what are those things that they need to know for real? And wow.
Well,
Thank God I'm not in primary school anymore.
Well, we remember two kinds of teachers, guys. One of them is the good teacher, or the best teacher, who was loving, who was kind, who was always thinking about learners beyond just delivering content to them, but their personal well-being. They would welcome and say, how are you?
Yeah.
Are you well?
Yeah.
How are your parents?
True.
What is one exciting thing you'd like to share? And they were very warm and supportive. Now,
I remember that one.
Uh-huh.
In my head.
There is another one. The teacher who made school the most difficult experience for you. You can identify them probably by the shirt they used to wear that they would put on, and that day, if you make any mistake,
Don't put their names on the
you are not getting less than 5 canes or something. But
True.
that is very painful.
Yeah.
Teachers, our collaboration with students is very important and comes a long way in supporting their general well-being at school, academically, but their emotional stability. But we end up creating environments that distance them from us. Now, guys, listen, I'm a teacher. Now, if teaching is something you do as a passion, as something you love, not just a job or a duty to fulfill, you care about the lives of those learners beyond the class, the confines of class and delivering content. You know that these learners have a life. That learners first love you as a teacher. then they love what you teach. You see, that's how it works. So, what are you doing? When you get to learn these learners' names, when you get to create that friendship with them, when you make it approachable, when you make it warm and kind and loving and caring as a trusted adult, as someone when they are around you, they're happy, it makes it easy for them to learn from you. It makes it easy for them to come to you when they need help. It makes it easy for them to see you as a human being. But sometimes we've put up rules, which rules we ourselves fail against, and then we start getting distressed. Imagine you tell children, when I'm in class, never come after me. You do not know why the child has come late. But one day also, probably you have a family, a wife and children, and on this day, your wife is sick. We are in class.
And you also
it is you who is coming late. What should we do?
Don't enter.
Should we also say don't enter?
No.
But let's not create this kind of animosity and make school a hell of an experience or prison. Let's create an environment that is warm, that is welcoming. How do we do this? Think of some things as a teacher. For example, creating an open door policy where children feel comfortable to come to you. When you finish the lesson and anyone is asking about something, allow them to walk with you as you're going to the staff room. Talk with them. Let them know that you are available, maybe a few more minutes. Also, let them know that in class they can raise up their hands and ask about things. And that will be helpful for them to relate with you. And they know that actually you care about them. But also, questions should not just be about the content we are learning in class. Children may have some personal things.
Yeah.
They look at you as a mentor and they would love to trust you with confidentiality. Share these things with you. What other thing can you do as a teacher? What you can do is being able to look at these learners. Are there different abilities? Don't go with the fastest learner. There's some slowest learner. Maybe even it's a season of their life because of what's happening at home or anything. Help them. Some of them have special needs. Now, special needs, we don't think only physical disability, anything. There are cognitive special needs. There are emotional special needs because of the experiences we've gone through there, and also including the physical.
Yeah.
How can we be able to support them? Have we bothered ourselves to learn the dynamic teaching styles to meet the different learning styles for the different learners? Now, that shows that you care about them. It shows that you hear them. You love them. They are seen. They are valued. They are understood. Look at their other extra abilities and skills. Give them constructive feedback. It encourages them to participate. And when that happens, they thrive emotionally and they also thrive academically. Teachers, if you are there, I beseech you by the mercies of God, that think of doing these things. You'll be amazed how they will change your career and the life of the students at school. Thank you.
Very exciting. Like just speaking about these things, oh my gosh, it's like I'm in 2003, 2007. Like I'm now remembering a lot of things that have been going on, and I'm like, yeah, this was a conversation worth talking about. So thank you so much for coming. And there are so many other relationships that we would like to talk about, but that's going to be episode 2. Yeah, I hope you're going to be available.
Yeah.
And for those that are watching, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have anything to say, feel free to drop into the comments. And once again, we appreciate your time watching this podcast. And Mwalimu, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the